Yeah, I agree with you definitely in daily fantasy. I think Hankerson is worth an add in season-long leagues because he is getting the targets. But I wouldn't be starting him. So, but he's definitely worth an add. Devontae Freeman, I think, is definitely worth picking up if he's not already picked up in your league. And then I think Tevin Coleman, when he comes back, might muddy the water if you could see another committee here because he did have a good first game before he got injured. But until Coleman comes back, I think Freeman, could be a must start in pretty much every game because he is the only running back that the Falcons really have. Moving on to the next game here, we got the Chiefs at the Bengals. We finally had a Macklin sighting and a touchdown scored by a wide receiver for the Chiefs. It's been almost a year and a half since that's happened. Is Macklin now a pretty much plug-and-play starter every week, or is this just because it was junk time and, that's just what happens in junk time?
Yeah, I'll probably side more with jump time. Macklin's right back was actually on DraftKings as FanDuel. I was very hesitant to start him last night, even in the 2 games played, the Monday and Thursday night game. That was 100% jump time. I mean, Macklin's been playing diamond prevent defense, so, of course, it opened up the field. So I'd still be very hesitant on Macklin. I still don't think he's the same Macklin we were touching the game on the Eagles many years ago. But, it's worth a shot. Depending on the play, full game play, he'll probably be well on. But I'm still not sold on him. So, that's pretty much my answer to that one.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that one. I think the offensive line for the Chiefs is so bad right now that Alex Smith doesn't have the strongest arm to begin with, and if he can't step into those throws because he's got guys in his face, I think it's going to be a lot of dinking and dunking. So I think Macklin, I think in your season-long leagues, you probably have to start him just because you probably drafted him fairly high. But I think I'm looking elsewhere for better options. On the Bengals side, of course, the big story there is Jeremy Hill or Giovanni. I think 2 weeks in a row now, Giovanni Bernard has been a better running back. If you're a Jeremy Hill owner, are you nervous this week?
I've always liked the Bengals as a running committee offense. So I am a little concerned, with Gio being there. They both have talent. I think the Bengals offense just, they're good to begin with. But even without that being said, I mean, Andy Dalton's going to be right now in the passing game. So there's a little red flag that might be going up right there if you're anyone else right now.
Agreed. All right, I'm moving on to the next game here. We got the Cleveland Browns at the San Diego Chargers. And we're going to touch a little bit on rookie Melvin Gordon. I had him for daily fantasy this past week as one of my plays. He's going to break out eventually. I think I missed a little bit, but I do still believe in his talent. Do you think he breaks out this game, or do you think he breaks out at all this season?
Yeah, if you're going to pick one game, it has to be this one. I mean, playing by the Vikings, which has not been coming at all. As far as the Chargers are the best team in the league, I honestly look at them as one of the top tier teams in the league. When they go after that, I think the Vikings. It just boggles my mind. I just don't understand that team at all. But it's going to be the one game that we're going to rely on for it. It's definitely going to go back to Browns. It's probably the Chargers will get out of Browns in pretty fast fashion. They'll probably get Gordon a lot of carries, especially when it comes to 21 or 21. I think it's going to be blown out. Probably the Chargers are a little upset about last weekend. I think they're going to up and down back at home. I'm ready to pick. I think the game could be on the whole land and the Chargers are going to fall in the ball.
Yeah, I agree. And daily, I'd imagine that the back of the game he has is probably even cheaper than he was last week. So he might be my top play again this week. He's going to keep playing my top play until he gets on hits, and then I can brag about picking him. All right, moving on to the Browns side. I'm not buying this guy, but he keeps scoring. I just don't know how long he can sustain it. And of course, it's Benjamin. Are we buying Benjamin? Are we really going to score a touchdown in every game this year?
to go to your Garcia target, and then I will try that to happen all day.
Yeah, I agree. And just counter my bet on Melvin Gordon, I just want to point that I had Gary Barnidge. I didn't leave him in Cleveland Browns, of course, huge game last week. He was my top play in the position this year. Of course, he had 5 yards and a touchdown. So even though I'm going with Gordon, I think I might definitely carry on Gary Barnidge. I didn't want to not do. Alright, so moving on, it's going to be the words of word for me, of course, my wife and her entire family, we're all Green Bay fans, and they're coming to our town in San Francisco, the 49ers, and we're going out, Steelers, Cardinals, we face probably the best offense in the league. Jokingly, I believe that's what over and over under of 20 points, with the Niners 50 points under. I don't know if we're going to score in this game, we're just blowing out. Pretty much playing all your knowledge, right? I mean, you can probably start Lacy. You probably put in Brett Favre, he's 5 points for you. What do you think? I agree. Unfortunately, I'm off this weekend. I don't usually get off Sundays. This is the weekend I'm off, and I believe this game is going to be on television here on local TV. So I will be fortunate to watch this game. I'm hoping my boys can pull it out, or at least make it competitive. But Aaron Rodgers is from California, so he's probably going to have all his friends and family there, and everyone put on a show. So I'm a little scared. And quickly here, I wrote these notes before last night's game, so just want to point out that James Jones is legit. I put in here the question mark, is he or isn't he? But I think after last night's game, we can pretty much guarantee that James Jones is going to be legit. The fantasy force to go forward, especially for Devontae Adams, he's missing in games.
Right,
Agreed. All right, moving on to the next game here. It's a divisional game in my division, so no matter who loses, I'm happy. We got the Rams and the Cardinals. Is the Rams offense right now the best in the league?
The Rams are really one of those teams that the inconsistency is in the fact that they really should not find themselves. It's going to be dividend because the Cardinals defense right now are all fortunate. The defense does not care. We saw computer touches by him last weekend. This is going to be a bad week for the Rams. The Cardinals are all stars right now. Carson Palmer he's proven he's a great vet in this league. I don't see starting really anybody connecting to the Rams for season. That Cardinals team is too good, and Larry Fitzgerald is coming out in true fashion. We're seeing that signature Larry Fitzgerald.
up there definitely in offense as well. I think, Packers may have a better offense, but they're losing wide receivers left and right. Cardinals, if they can stay healthy, get Ellington back. I mean, I know not for fantasy purposes, but they're going to have 3 good backs. I mean, for fantasy, it's not a good thing, but if you're a real NFL team, I think that's definitely a good thing. All right, we got 3 more games to hit on real quick here. Vikings at Broncos. Outside of Adrian Peterson, we're not starting any Vikings, right?
I always wanted to start a real tight end, but I honestly thought that guy had a lot of talent, but he's really not doing much more as fantasy goes. So, in my opinion, no. I mean, absolutely not. I mean, that offense is going to revolve around AT. It's going to stay that way because that's just the type of player AT is. You basically ride his coattails to victory if you're a Vikings fan. But outside of that, I'm not starting anybody, but I think it's going to be a very, very, very tough week for the Vikings. Obviously, Broncos D is on all cylinders, and they're definitely going to be looking to stop that run game for forcing Teddy Bridgewater to pass. And as a Broncos fan, I'm always happy if I'm forcing Teddy Bridgewater to pass.
Yeah, I agree. I think I just wanted to touch on the Broncos side of the ball too. Is of course the whole C.J. Anderson. You drafted him high. He's been kind of off. I think with the bye week starting this week in week 4, you're probably going to be forced to start C.J. Anderson unless for some reason you got better options. I know I'm a C.J. Anderson in both of the leagues that I really care about, and I've been struggling in both leagues, but I don't see a better option necessarily. The Vikings defense has shown that they can give up, a lot of run yards. They week 1 were gashed by Carlos Hyde. So I think you're still starting C.J. Anderson, and you're just hoping he comes around. Moving on to the next game here, we got the Cowboys at the Saints. Biggest thing here is that Saints defense that we thought was pretty good after weeks 1 and 2 really got exposed in week 3 by the Falcons. Now, obviously, the Saints are not the same without Drew Brees, but do we think Mark Ingram can be a top 10 back this week, at least for season long?
I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, we obviously see what the Falcons did against the Cowboys defense. Now, obviously, that was a product of Monte Freeman. But if it's 1 week, you're gonna chance starting Mark Ingram. It might as well be this week, in all honesty. I mean, obviously, Cowboys run defense isn't producing any stops. Why not? I mean, I would honestly pick Ingram as a sneaky pick in the GCC. You might, as far as the Saints offense, I mean, obviously the Saints are not a good team this year, so they may try to make some changes, and if one of those changes is to hopefully get Mark Ingram some good playing time and seeing where that goes, then why not? So I don't know. I don't know how the Cowboys are going to react to that Falcons game. I still think the Cowboys are a great team as far on the defensive side, but if they're gonna perform like that, then I'm starting Ingram all the way.
Yeah, I agree. And then just on the Cowboys side of the ball, are there any wide receivers on this team that we want to own season long or daily? I think their supposed number 1 receiver right now is Terrence Williams, and I think he went catchless this past week in a game that was a shootout, and they were passing plenty. Are we avoiding all the receivers there?
Until Tony Romo gets back, I'm avoiding every single one of them.
Agreed. All right, moving on to the Monday night game. We got the Lions at the Seahawks. For the Lions, outside of Megatron, and even he's sort of iffy, are we starting any Lions GPP or season long? I'm sorry, daily fantasy or season long?
Honestly, I think Stafford's been so inconsistent this season. I mean, I was watching the Lions Broncos game on Sunday night, and the thing with Stafford is he's lucky that Megatron is so talented, because even the throws he was targeting Megatron on, they were either behind